Right, hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of the Rusty Jimny saga. What I've decided is I'm going to concentrate on the body mount situated under the A pillar on the driver's side. We've got the driver's seat out. We've removed the gear lever, the gear knob and the gaiter off the gear lever, and we're going to take the centre console out. Now there's 4 screws on the side. Once you've removed the gear knob and the gaiter, there's 4 screws on the side, 2 either side. This just need to be removed. Hopefully this will allow us to fold the carpet back a bit further. There we go. Just 4 self-tapping screws. And that then lifts off. Just free the carpet out from underneath the pedals. There we go. Fold it right back out the way. Right, now then, this is the area of floor that I'm thinking about removing. Here, I can just see the offending rot underneath there, the body mount. This part here is what we want to repair. Now it's quite a big thing. It goes right underneath there, right underneath the chassis there. Now this part here, well, double skinned for strength, but I'm not sure that needs to come out. Part of it, well, part of it does. So I think the plan is to remove the rest of this sound insulation. I'm going to try and get that out and I'll get back to you. There's no point watching me scrape insulation out, so I need to first start cutting the metal out. I need to clean all the inner floor so I can find the spot welds for that body mount, and I can drill them out. Now then, so that insulation's got to come out. And what I've done is I've cleaned away all of the sound deadening material from the footwell on the driver's side, and I've given it a bit of a clean so that I can clearly see where the spot welds are and any other damages. And to be fair, most of it is in good condition apart from there, which we've already discussed. What we're going to start today is we're going to remove this plate here, this plate, the underneath of the chassis body mount. It's rotted through in a couple of places, and here and here and a little bit there, I think. Now, rather than just fart about with little bits of metal and stuff, I'm going to take this plate off and deal with it. And that's the first stage. I've already pretty much cleaned it up on a previous video, as far as I want to anyway. And I'm going to now grind the sides here and here on both sides and see if I can identify how it's fixed to the main chassis. I forget what they're called now, these outrigger, the chassis outrigger. I don't know how that's going to go, but my first thing is to clean it up and see if I can identify some spot welds. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to try and set you up on some kind of a platform so you can roughly see what I'm doing, and I'll bring you in to have a look at regular intervals. Okay, so here goes. Wish me luck. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to clean both edges of this thing. Well, that hasn't, to be honest, to be fair, that hasn't made much difference. I can't see nothing. I can see a spot well there. Let me just see, go a bit further. I think I need a new, yeah, I need a new thingy really. So what I'm going to do, I'll get another. Right, well that idea is not going to work because it's too corroded. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some tape on this and I'm going to make a pattern of the shape so that I can make, before I mullet it, before I mess it up with the angle grinder, because I'm going to cut it off. I'm just going to cut it out and get it off later, I think. Right, this is the pattern that we made from the underneath of the chassis outrigger. There we are. That's the pattern that we've made from the underneath the chassis outrigger. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this now to size. Right, what we've made there is we've made a cardboard pattern of the outrigger on the driver's side under the A-post, so that when we take that panel off, which we're going to do now, if we damage it, we've got a good template to make a new one. And also this thing is it's not flat, it's got a bit of a curve in it as well. So we've got a Weetabix board pattern so that I can make a new piece. So I'm just keep that to one side for now. Now let's have a look at what we've got underneath here. So that's the piece that we've made, the panel. And now I can see some spot welds here. One there, one there, one there, and there's a weld all the way along there. Now I think there's a spot weld there, and I think there's a spot weld there, but they're so badly corroded. I don't think it's going to make any difference if we, you know, take the damn things off. I just don't think it's going to make any difference. I'm just going to cut this off, I think. Now, I'm just going to cut it off. I'm just going to turn the camera off now, and I'm going to attack this with a grinder, and I'll show you what I've done in a minute. Right, I'm grinding the edges off here first and cutting it away, because basically I want to try and save the outrigging if I can. So I'm going to have to take my time and just grind bit by bit. Twist and pull until I can get this off. I should have gloves on really, because if I slip I just feel so restricted with the gloves at the moment. It should come away, but it's been really stubborn. Just a little bit there. If I can just grind that little bit away there, that next section will come away to the next spot weld. I think we've got a spot weld just on the corner there. Just there. Just need to grind that bit there. It doesn't help the fact that this is really thick metal as well. it's not gonna give in easy. It's not going to give up at all. But what my goal at the moment is to get this outrigger off in one piece, because I think that's in solid enough condition to be able to save. It's just where the shite, the mud, has been resting on the bottom of this, it's rotted its way out. I think it's more this panel than the outrigger. So I just need to... Just about everything's in the way at the moment. Right, so I'm going to go and get a cold chisel. Right, we're basically trying to cut this away and twist it and save this outrigger here. I'm going to take this whole outrigger off so I can get at the body mount. I've definitely got to cut it across there, but I'm going to have to get some snips, I think, and just snip away at this. And I think I'll go and get some snips and I'll just cut it away. Let's see what happens. And a pair of gloves for to cut my hands. You know, this is a perfect rust trap designed into the vehicle. Absolutely perfect. It's just, I don't understand why they do it. It's just, surely there must be a better way of making something like this so that it doesn't, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Absolutely perfect. What a shower of bastards. Oh, it's thick metal at the bottom here as well. In places the metal is still thick. You just can't get at it. Right, that's 2 belts. 2 belts used up. Let's have a little bit of a hammer on that now and see what we can. The chassis leg has got a big hole in it as well. Oh, I think the final is about. It's just, it's gone in the corner there. Might be able to repair it if we can get it off. Always think positive. Always be positive. Now then, I think we'll. Right, I need to cut that across there really now. Get rid of that. So I'm going to get another cutting wheel and I'm going to cut that bit off there, right across there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this bit of metal off here now. Okay, right, what we've done is we've roughly cut out the bottom plate off the chassis outrigger. Now you can clearly see the corrosion inside there, but you know, it's cold, but it is solid, so we're at the point now where we've got to grind all this off back to the chassis there, and then we should be able to cut this away, and take this whole thing out. And there's a whopping big hole in the side here which needs a new side putting on it basically. I want to try and retain this if I can all around here, because it's got all the, you know, it's got some meat on it. It just needs to be, this needs to be cleaned up here, and then we can get some form of tools in to cut this away. We can cut down the side there, and we might be able to cut the bottom there and down this side here. Like I say, this side's rotten anyway, so it should come away easily. So that's the next task, is to cut this outrigger out and remove the whole thing, clean all the chassis up and prepare it and treat it and whatever it needs doing to it. And then we can see what we can do with this strengthening panel here, this strengthening panel here, and this strengthening panel underneath here. And then we can do the inner wing, sorry, the inner sill and the floor, and then put it all back, remade. I might whip this wing off as well. I might take this wing off to get at it a bit better. It might make it a bit easier to get at. So I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna have a think about it now. I'm gonna leave the tidy up and have a think. Right, I've cleaned this up a little bit. And what I intend to do now is I'm going to cut it down there, and I'm going to cut it along here and down there, and then I'm going to try and cut up in here and cut across here. The top part is actually okay, so I can weld it across the top there, but the sides on this side anyway have gone. It needs, this chassis outrigger needs rebuilding and then welding back on, so it's got to come off anyway. So I'm going to take it off, rebuild it, and then I can get it at the rest of the rust. For all those who are tempted to buy oldie and little tools, these snips, they're a little set. I've got 3 pairs of them, left, right and the middle ones. These, you know, the centre ones, these are absolute crap. They've hardly been used in the past. I've used them basically for cutting bits of tin foil, really, aluminium. This is the first time I've tested them out, and that is just pathetic. Absolute pathetic. Don't waste your money. I never buy crap like this normally, but they were so cheap, I thought, well, I'll give it a little go. Might as well just throw money down the grid. Rubbish. Crap. We've nearly got this outrigger off now, but it's been an absolute bugger to get off. I was able to get the angle grinder in here and cut there, and I was able to cut the sides here, and there's not much left of that side there, see, and the last inch or so on both corners I've had to cut with a hacksaw blade. Just get a hacksaw blade and work it backwards and forwards. I'm working on about 3 teeth per cut. So, but it's nearly there now. I've just got that last little 3/8 of an inch to do there, and then it'll come away and I can rebuild or buy a new one. Whichever, you know, if they're really expensive I'll probably end up rebuilding it, but if they're reasonably priced, I'll buy a new one. But when we get this off we'll be able to see what's underneath. So there we go, we've got most of it off now. I'm just going to cut the last little bit. There's no point you watching me struggling with a hacksaw blade. You know, I've just got the hacksaw blade in there like that, and I'm just working it backwards and forwards. I haven't got an air saw, so this will have to do. Right, we've got this outrigger, this chassis outrigger cut off now, and we can remove it and have a look at it. Basically what we've got is, well, we haven't got much left, to be honest. I'm going to repair it. It is repairable. What I'm going to try and do is straighten all this out, clean this flange off here, this flange, and make a new side for it on this side here. Cut it down there and make a new side for it. The rest of it is solid, and then when I'm ready I'll weld that back on to the chassis. Now then, underneath here, this is the body mount there. Look at the state of that. It's completely knackered. This part here is okay, so luckily I can cut it across there, cut the spot welds here and here, and take this off, and then I can get to the floor, this strengthening piece here and the inner sill. I may need to release this wing here and just pull it out the way. I don't know if it's got to come off yet. I may take it off, but this here now is what's next, and I'm going to cut it across there, and I'm going to release these spot welds along here, down here, and along the back here, and take this out, take this whole thing out, and then I can get to the floor, this strengthening panel, see if that needs to be repaired, and the inner sill, which I know needs to be repaired. Right, okay. This is where I'm going to cut it here with the angle grinder now, there, and then we'll have a look at these spot welds. It's going to be another long, hard job, but we'll get it done. Right, what we've got is we've got this spot weld cutter set, which I bought off Amazon. It comes with a number of these tops, these cutters. I've got a small drill. I'm going to drill a hole in the spot weld to locate the cutter, and I've got a Starrett self automatic centre punch. So I'm going to punch the spot welds with this, drill a little hole in it, and then drill the spot weld out. Now I'm going to show you doing one, and then what I'll do is I'll crack on with it and give you an update every now and again. So I'm going to set the camera up now. And then we're going to start with this one here. So locate the centre punch. God, that's it. We've done what we've done there is we've just got a little hole in the metal just to start the cutter off, stop it wandering, just to start the cutter off and stop it wandering around too much. Right, the pin in these spot weld cutters is spring loaded. Just put that in there. That's one down, one done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to work my way across and deal with each one individually. As I'm going along, I'll give you progress updates. Right, it's getting late now, but I'm going to call it a day. I've drilled out a few of these spot welds, and to be fair, it's coming along quite nicely. This is I can feel that it's released. The spot welds have released, and I just need to cut the flange on the inside with my Dremel, on the inside of this, other side of this floor with the Dremel, and then I've got that one to do there, and then that side of it is free, and then I can clean this side up here. I've got one to do there, and this is rotten pretty much, so that should just fall away. And I've got a bit of a flange here to do. I need to clean this up and see how it's put together, because this strengthening piece is here as well. I don't know if you can see it. I'm underneath the car. This strengthening piece is here as well, which may need to come out so I can get this piece out and make a new one. Okay, that's it for tonight. Right, what I'm going to do is I'll clean it all off first, and then I'll show you before I start drilling. There's no point, so I'm just going to be angle grinding with this, with a drill and a wire brush, just cleaning the underseal off. Right, we've cleaned some underseal off now of this panel where it joins, and this panel also needs some rebuilding at the back there at least, and along the bottom here, so it needs to come off. Inspect what's underneath it, and also to get at what we're doing with the body mount. It's all part of the same job. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to drill these spot welds out, and I'll keep you informed as we go along. Basically all I've done is I've cleaned it up with a wire brush, and I've cleaned some of the thicker stuff off with a cold chisel, a little cold hammer and chisel, just to expose the spot welds. Get back to you. Right, progress report. We've drilled out a series of spot welds. Some of them have gone right through because metal's very thin in places. Now what I've done is I've got these spot weld chisels from US Pro. These things, quite nice things, and they just, you just put them in place and give them a tap of the hammer and lever at the same time, and it pops the spot weld. Now as they've been popping the top ones, you can see how badly damaged this bottom piece is. It didn't look half as bad as that when we started. Because we've disturbed it now, the rust has just fell away. This whole panel here at the bottom, it needs some serious repair, if not replacement. So we're going to drill these spot holes out at the bottom, spot welds, sorry. I'm going to drill these spot welds at the bottom here, and there's one there I think, and we'll see if we can get this panel freed up. I'll give you a progress report as I go along. Okay. All the inner floor is like brand new. The whole car's just gone frilly around the edges. It's weird. It's just gone really frilly around the edges. Some of the designs on this thing, you know, they're just designs. They seem to be designed to rust. Anyway, it's not going to beat me. We're getting there. I'm going to concentrate on this area here. I'll just cut it back stage by stage and try and get it rebuilt. So next thing now is to concentrate on getting this panel out here and lifting that out the way and see what's underneath that. I'm sorry about the camera work, but you can appreciate I'm lying on my back underneath the car. I'm trying my best to show you, but I've got to now free all this up and try and get it out. Okay. Right, another progress update. This is the body mount, which is attached to the part of the body mount which is attached to the floor. To get this out, what we've had to do, we've had to drill the spot welds out all the way around, and we've had to peel this back. It's three skins here. There's the floor, the body mount, and then there's the inner wing which comes down or folds over it. Now this is folded on, it's attached to the inner sill there, and then it comes round and is attached to the floor on the other side. And I've cut it out. And removed it. Now, what that leaves us with is this is the floor. That's the hole in the floor, and then we've got the inner wing here. Sorry, the inner sill here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cut the bad out the floor first, which is, I think we're just going to have to cut across there, make a new piece and put a new piece in. And then we can, once we get the floor out, we can deal with the inner sill, which I think down here, I'm going to clean up down here. I think that's okay, and I think that's okay. Pretty solid. Wow, it's like peeling an onion. It's skin after skin after skin, and it's a nightmare. But we're getting there. We're getting there. This part of the structural strengthening on the floor, which the body mount's attached to, it goes right underneath the chassis and onto this side, and you can see it round here, there. Now I don't know if I'm going to take that out. To take that out, I have to drill the spot welds out from the other side and slide it out. I'm going to leave it for now and see if I can work. I'm going to leave it for now and see if I can work around it. I have to clean the floor up a bit more underneath here, the under seal off around here. I exposed this bit of floor here, and then I'm going to cut it across there and take this bit of floor out and repair it. I'm going to make a new piece and repair it and weld it all back in. This inner sill, it should be easy to repair. Well, like everything else on this vehicle, it's tended to be a bit of a, well, nothing's easy up to now. I don't know if, I think the actual sill is okay. It's just the inner sill is gone, so we're going to have to, when we do it, we're going to have to remove it all the way along here. But for now, the next thing is to get this floor under seal cleaned off here, expose these spot welds, and see if we can get it out. So we're going to cut it across there. Right, marvellous. So I'm going to clean that off and then I'll get back to you. Right, this is the part of the body mount we've just removed. As you can see, there's not an awful lot left of it. The rubber bung is okay, the rubber mount is okay, the bolt is okay, and there's a strengthening piece on the inside that you can see there. Now all that is spot welded to the inside of the body panel, which has literally just rotted away. There's not a great deal left now. I don't know if I'm going to make this, or I'm going to price them up, see if I can buy one, and if they did, I'm just going to make one. But it's quite a complicated little thing, but not beyond being made, but we'll have a little look at it later. I'm going to put it to one side for now and move on with this floor. Right, what we've done is we've drilled all the spot welds out for this piece of flooring, and we're going to cut it on that white line there and take that piece of flooring out to expose the damage on the inner sill. So we're going to cut that now with the grinder and lift it out, and then all we've got then is to expose all the damage on the inner sill. Okay, get back to you when that's done. Right, we've cut that piece of flooring out now and lifted it out, and now we're left now with the damage on the inner sill, which we can now clearly see. We need to cut it across here, right across there, and we need to lift that panel out, that piece out, and make a new panel to fit in. Now luckily it's just a flat piece, we need to get it off, but that's, I'm going to pack up now. It's like 8 o'clock in the evening, so I'm going to pack up. I think what's probably caused the damage here is the drain block. The drain holes are blocked. I've got blocked up, I think. There's a drain hole here, and I think it's blocked. And I think that's what's caused the damage. That's gone, and it's caused the body mount to go, and then the chassis leg. I'll have to make a new piece of flooring to go in there. It's a piece of flooring. It's quite a complicated thing to do, but we'll just have to persevere and see what we can do. Like I said before, it's like peeling back an onion. It's just bits, it's just, the lips just rotted away there, and there's big holes in it. And, well, we'll see what we can do. Okay, get back to you when we... Right, here we are again, underneath the little Jimny. Now, this is what we're going to tackle now, this rust here, which I've been referring to as the inner sill. It's not really the inner sill, it's the bottom of the A-post on the driver's side. So we're basically going to take this panel off and replace it. It goes to, you can see the joint here there. We're going to have to release this wing as well. Now I'm not sure whether I should take this wing off or not. It's got to come off eventually anyway, So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to undo that nut there and just free it a little bit so I can get at this without damaging anything. This skin here needs to come off and be plated. This wing basically bolts on, so I've decided to take it off. I'm going to take the bolts off the top, and I'm going to have to release the scuttle panel as well. Hopefully I can get this wing off without taking all the scuttle panel off. That's got to come off anyway when I do the front panel and the inner wing, so I might as well take it off now. There's a nut down here, down there on the front. Oh, it's tight. Right, little progress report. We've got the nuts off the top of the wing. There's one underneath here. Just managed to lift that a little bit and get that out. Got this one off, that one. We've managed to get this one off here. And true to form, this bottom nut on the wing, it's seized up and it's not coming off. The end started to round off, so before I get it any worse, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end of the bolt off, just cut that off to make it easier to wind out. And I'm not going to put any heat on because I don't want to damage the paintwork. And I've got some special sockets made by Irwin that grip the end of the nut, and it should then just wind out. I've put loads of penetration oil on it, so I'm just going to cut that off first and then I'll get back to you. Okay. Right, I've cut the end of the nut off, sorry, the bolt. I've cut the end of the bolt off near the nut, and I've given another spray of penetration oil. And hopefully now I'm going to give it one go with the spanner again, see if it'll twist out, and if not, I'm going to get the Irwin sockets that are made for rounded off nuts, see if I can get it off that way. I tried to cut it off with the a hacksaw blade in the multi-tool, but it was having none of it. It's really hard metal in the bolt. It's obviously good quality bolt, but the end of it is rubbish. Anyway, I'll get back to you when I've got it off. We couldn't get at the nut there because we did 2 drain holes, and I didn't want to damage the wing, so that's what I've did. I've cut the captive nut off and it's just dropped out. Cut it off there. Right, so the whole wing now is loose, so I should be able to waggle it out. Oh no. Ow. Just one more fitting inside the door, one more nut inside the door. Can I get at it? Yeah, there it is, right in the back there. See, right at the back there? Got to get that one off there. So I'll get back to you when I've got that off. Right, that's the last nut out now. There it is. I just used a long extension to get at it. Now this should just lift out now. Yes, there we go. Now I've just got to disconnect the light there. Right, we've got the wing off now, and the wing in the main part on the outside of the A-post is in really good condition. Just some surface rust down here on the inside there, but on the inside is a different matter altogether. It's completely gone on the inside here. and we're going to have to cut this panel. What I can make out, I think the inner sill is okay, it just needs treating, and the floor is okay over here. So okay over there, it's just the bottom of the A-post has rotted out. You can see it better from the inside. Right, on the inside you can see there, all along here, the worrying part is this bit here, where it comes up here behind this panel at the front. I don't really, or I didn't want to take that off. This panel here, it should be a case of just cutting it across there and across there and slotting a new piece in, welding it up there and spot welding all around the bottom. And we're going to have to take enough out so that we can clean the inside of the sill area and treat it. Other than that, you know, just need to get this, see this seam sealer off here. I need to get that off. So I'm going to get that seam sealer off first and have a look here, because there's nothing to weld to there. There's just nothing there. It's just a hole. And I didn't want to cut all this away. I might have to cut a section of this out, and so I can get at it. Anyway, we'll see. We'll clean the seam sealer off first. Right, now then, because the rust has gone up a bit there, we need to cut a section of this panel out here, just across there like that, and bring the spot. We'll take that out. We will be able to weld that piece back in, because there's nothing wrong with it. I just need to take it out to get at the rust in the bottom of the A-post. Now, this rust here, I've got it. There's the remains of the strengthening panel. This needs to be prepared and some weld through primer put on just to protect it. Right, I've released the spot welds down here. There's 2 spot welds there, and I've marked it now when I'm going to cut it across there like that and down there, and I'll save this piece. This piece will be welded back in because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's the right shape, etc, etc. So I'm now going to cut this off so I can get at this rust here, and then I'm ready to remove this part of the panel then. Okay, now you don't need to see me grinding, so I'll get on with that now. Right, I've cut this panel away now, took that out, keep that to one side, and now you can see that the rust, I've got good metal here, so I can cut across here and here all the way through now to here. So I just need to release these spot welds down the bottom here now and clean this mess up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify where the spot welds are here and get them all out. Okay. Right, here's where we're up to now. We're going to finish now because it's about 8:30 in the evening. So I've cut all the spot welds away and took what's left of that panel away, and I'm going to, with my Dremel, cut a straight line across, well, up there and then across there, and take that rusty part out. And also we've started cleaning this up a little bit, but I might have to cut a bit more floor out here and put a piece in here, just a piece, because it's sort of gone at the end there. this is all going to clean up okay, I think. And I've put some Hydrate 80 on it, some Built Amber Hydrate 80. It should save it. With it, obviously, with putting Lanagard inside, everything will be tickety-boo with a bit of luck. The light's failing now, so I'm just trying to, so you can see we're getting to the end of cutting out for this repair now, and we should start soon putting pieces in. But there's a bit of disappointment there. You can see what a mess that is there. I'm going to have to cut a little corner out there, I think, and just put a little piece in. I will see how much I need. I may need to take a bit more floor out, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. It's been a long, hard job, and I can't show you it all because the footage, it'll just be hours of me cutting, grinding, drilling spot welds out, etc, etc. You just have to appreciate that these things take a lot of time, especially when you're lying on your back on the driveway, you know, with limited tools and stuff. So hopefully we'll start putting it back together soon, and we can get this repair, this part of it done, and then it'll be one body mount down. 7 to go. My God, this car's made out of tin foil. I mean, look how thin this metal is here. Look at that. It's just tin foil. I don't even think it's 1 mil thick, this. I think it's probably about 0.7 or something like that. It's just ridiculously thin. This stuff here is quite strong, you know, but you know, the outer, this is just tin foil. This is just tin foil. Awful. No wonder they rot. Anyway, we can only do what we can do, and meet the challenges that are put in front of us. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this panel now across there, down here, and then right across here. Now I'm going to do it with the angle grinder, so I won't be filming it, but I'll show you when it's done. But you can see I'm going to cut all the bad rot out there, and then once I've done that I can move on to this part here. Probably just cut that across there and make a little piece. But we'll do this piece first. Yeah, I'm going to cut that down there to that seam there. Okay. See if I can do it with the angle grinder. If not, I'll have to get the Dremel out. Right, okay, we've managed to cut that out now with the angle grinder, and we're left with this now. So we're back to good metal all the way along here. We've just got to clean the edge up for welding when we make the panel. Get all the sharp edges off and get it nice, like a nice. We've managed to keep this thing here for what the trim fits in, so that's in the right place. Now this part here is going to cut a piece out here now. It's quite difficult to get at actually. It's I just need to cut a section out there like that, and then down here, and then make a little piece to go in. So I'm going to mark that now and then cut that out. Right, so we've now got this part of the car what we're working on here under the A-post all back to good metal. We've cut the little piece of the inner sill out here. What we've got to do now, clean all the edges up, clean all this up, get rid of these little snots where the spot welds, clean them all up, clean this under seal back a bit further here, and make sure we've got a good surface everywhere for welding things back on, and give it a coat of first things first, a coat of Built Amber Hydrate 80, and then a coat of Well Through Primer, and then we'll take it from there. So we're going to clean it up now. Right, what we've done now is we've cleaned everything up, all the rust. We've cleaned all the rust right back as far as we can, and we've smoothed all the edges that we're going to be welding to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this section here, all the way along here, up to about here, a coat of Hydrate 80, just to stop it flash rusting. And then I'm just going to do these edges here with a bit of Well Through Primer. And then we're ready then to start making panels. And we'll be starting with this one here. It's got like a little ridge in it, so we're going to have to make it to there. This little panel here has got a little ridge in it. See, that one. So, we'll do that one first. But we're going to give it a coat of Hydrate 80 now, and then we'll let it dry. And then, well, carry on. Okay, thanks. Right, what we've done is we've given it a coat of Built Amber Hydrate 80, cleaned it up and coated it with that stuff, and we're now ready to start building everything up now. And we're going to start with this little panel here. It's got a little kink in it there, a little ridge in there, but this video now is starting to get very long, and I think this is a good place to end it. Part 3 and part 4 we'll be starting to build these panels up. We'll be starting to build all these panels up and putting this back in, and I'm really happy with the way that this has turned out with the Hydrate 80. Has cleaned it up really nicely. So back to cleaned it and put this stuff on, and it's gone back to really nice solid metal. So we can put that panel in, and we can start building this thing back up, and then we can move on to the next section. Thanks for watching, and I hope the video hasn't been too boring or too long.